What's going on, everybody? It is your man Cliff and Terry, and today we're going to talk about Silent Q, one of my favorite additions to most new mixers that have come out. Why it's a joy to use, why I enjoy using it, and the ways that I benefit from using it. Sound good? Let's talk about it. All right, so a lot of people don't really know what Silent Q is. They see the Silent Q, they see it as a feature, but they just don't understand why it's important. One of the reasons why a lot of people don't understand why it's important is because they're using controllers. Controllers don't really have a need for Silent Q because of the immediate start function of songs. However, if you're dealing with turntables, that action can't be duplicated. So in comes Silent Q. Think of Silent Q like a mute, like a glorified mute button. And as long as Silent Q is activated, the song will continue to play. However, it won't initialize the song until you hit a cue point, hence the term Silent Q. If I hit the cue point right now, the song comes on. Easy enough, right? So you're probably thinking, okay, so it's a mute. Why do I care about a mute? Well, if you're using turntables, it's one of those things that you have to work around, and it's not for everything. So I don't want to say you're going to use Silent Q in every one of your transitions. But if you're doing anything that is crossfader intensive, then the Silent Q is going to be your friend. So let's say I'm scratching a track and I'm doing this and I'm trying to go from this sample that I'm scratching into the next song. Well, if the song is on and the fader is up, as I'm scratching, you're gonna hear, obviously, the other track. So the normal argument is, well, then just cut the fader down. Okay, let's cut the fader down. So the fader's down, the track is playing on one side, but we don't need it. So we're scratching. If I want to then bring this song up while I'm continuing to scratch, well, you're going to get kind of a delay. You're gonna get a volume delay. You're gonna have this sound that doesn't come in cleanly. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. That's the way we have to do it right now, no matter what. We can't get around that if you don't have a Silent Q. But if you do have a Silent Q, you don't have to focus on so many movements. Like, we don't have to say, we're scratching on this side, and now in order to bring the sample in, we have to continue to scratch, stop scratching. So if you have a song that maybe doesn't have as much time as this one because I have the echo and everything, so it's a little different on this one, but when I drop this track, I have to immediately bring the volume up and do that. Okay, that's done. Now, obviously, none of these things are gonna happen if you try to use the start. That little drag doesn't work. It doesn't sound clean. So let's utilize the Silent Q function and see if there's a difference. Okay, so that's a pretty basic example of how to use Silent Q. There are many, many different ways to use Silent Q, but this is the most obvious. This is the easiest. Anytime you are messing with the fader, or anytime you need to drop two different tracks, say for instance, you have a track going on this side, you have a track going on that side, this is muted, and you want to do like a simultaneous cue point, hitting both of them at the same time, you can keep the fader open, keep the song playing, and then when you're ready to, drop the beat right there, and you don't have to worry about bringing in the track, or you don't have to worry about hitting the beat and trying to activate the crossfader. Let's just say if you're playing something, you're like, oops, I screwed up. Now you've just muted it. There's a lot of different ways to utilize Silent Q. Now, if you're using the Rane 70 like I'm using for this scenario, it's easy to find it. It's under the instant doubles. A lot of people think that instant doubles is the only thing you can do, but there's actually 3 different types of things you can run off of these buttons. So just by holding the shift and the tab, it'll take you to the main menu where you go into settings, scroll down to the instant doubles, click on that, and then you have the option of normal, which is your instant double, sync mode, which goes into auto sync, silent Q, and that's it. So I use silent Q, that's what it stays on. I don't need the instant doubles because if I want to run instant doubles, I can double click on the scroll load button and it acts as an instant double. So I can keep my silent Q always on, always running. Hardware buttons, I want to point out, hardware buttons. It's really, really important with the silent Q. You're able to get to it quickly. If you can't get to it quickly, it becomes more of a hindrance. So I like the fact that the Rane 70 has hardware buttons. On the Rane 72, it does have silent Q, but then it changes parameters and there's a little more work involved. I love this mixer because of the silent doubles because of the silent Q being right here. All right, guys, if you found this video useful, hit that like button. If you found it really useful, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on the Instagrams and the Twitters. And of course, get on my Discord because that's where we're talking about all things Cleveland Terry, including my Wake Up in Cleveland show that is found exclusively on Twitch. Guys, girls, always a pleasure. If I don't talk to you later, we'll talk soon. Peace.